Hey everyone, episode 9. So tonight, we're going to talk about breaking up and why breaking up just doesn't work. And when I say that, I really mean that, you think that if you... Hi everyone, this is Evelyn. Say hi. Hi, yay, that's my baby. But the reason why breaking up doesn't work is because you have to be the one who does the breaking up. So I thought that when I was with Matt, the only way that I could break clean of him is if I were to make him think that he was the one breaking up with me. And if I just didn't fight for him, then, oh my God, you're too good for me. What's a girl like me to do? Tears, tears, weep, weep. And it didn't work. And he just held on harder. And he even said to me, I know what you're doing. You're trying to make me break up with you so that way you think it's my idea, but it's not going to work because I know what you're doing. And I just thought to myself, oh shit. This guy isn't going to leave me alone. And everybody kept asking me over and over and over and over, so when are you and Matt going to break up? And I would always go, oh, I'm going to break up with him soon. I'm just really unhappy. And they go, okay. And it was crazy because when I would tell him what his issues were, like, you're too controlling, I can't do anything, I'm working and you're spending all the money and all that stuff. He just didn't care. He kept coming up with reasons like, oh, this is why I do that, because you drive me crazy. This is your fault. You're the reason why I hit you. I don't just hit you because I hate you. You don't just, go around and talking how you want and not think that I'm not going to have a say over it. And he told me that no one will ever love you like I do, and I'm the best you'll ever get. And for a long time, I believed that because, young girl, first serious boyfriend, and I was just in love with the idea of being with someone and not in love with him. I was in love with him at one point, but through all the control and the manipulation and just the suffocation and the isolation and the fact that I couldn't be myself just made me fall out of love with him. And then these little quirks that he did was starting to really annoy me. Like, he would do these stupid little voices, and it wasn't even a cute way, but I'd sit there and I'd humor him and be like, oh, it's so cute, but it really wasn't. You're a grown ass person, physically anyways, and you're acting like a child. And if I didn't do a job well enough, he would go call his mom. I want my mom. And I get that, but don't tell me that you're so sick and then I get on the bus at 11 o'clock at night to get to your house by 12, and because I don't rub your tummy the way your mom did when you were a baby, my efforts were dismissed. Like, I know there is no love like a mother's love. But you so easily dismissed my effort and didn't even allow me the chance to comfort you or try to find out what could comfort you. And so we got to the point where he was noticing that I was getting really easily irritated, and he felt that he had to change. So, as I stated in previous videos, he said, if I change, you need to work on changing too. And I said, "Well, I'm not the one who's making this not work. You're the one who's making this not work." But of course, me being the nice person that I was, okay, if you're going to change, I'm going to change. Stop it. And it was, well, you need to pay more attention to me. And I was just thinking, like, I don't know how much more attention you can receive from me. I'm here all the time. I've I've left all my friends. I left my two childhood friends and my best friend from high school. I left three of some of the most important people in my life. I don't even talk to my family anymore. I am here all the time. I've gotten kicked out of my house for you. My dad kicked me out. He never kicked anybody else out but me. But my dad kicked me out because he saw how toxic our relationship was to me and for me. And my dad finally took me back because I had gotten so sick that I was actually immobile. So my dad and my mom nursed me back to health. But being the good parents that they were, they said, "We will nurse you back to health, but you can't have your room back because you left." And I hated them for it for a long time. But now that I'm a parent, I totally understand why my dad was such a dick to me because I was an idiot. You know, I was an idiot falling in love with this kid who was horrible for me. So, kids out there who are watching this, I do recommend listening to your parents. They do know what they're talking about. If they're yelling at you, they care. But back to this tangent. My parents kicked me out. I moved in with him. I've gone through even more abuse now because now I'm with him. And I got so sick that he couldn't nurse me back to health. So then my parents took me back in. But once my parents took me back in, I broke up with him again. And I was like, look, I'm not doing this because I have no money, I have no privacy, and I'm not even myself anymore. I'm who you want me to be. I'm not my own person. So he's like, "Oh, I'll change. I'll get a job." And he finally got a job at a gas station. But even he sucked at that. Every single time somebody wanted change, if they had a 50 and they wanted a change for a 50, he'd ring up $50 and say, "Oh, look, yeah, I have to tell the register I'm ringing $50 up." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no. You're it's an equal exchange. There's $50 in your register and he has $50. If he just wants change, you just take out two 20s and a 10 and you give him the two 20s and a 10 and he gives you the 50." So there were nights when his register was off and oh my God, he was upset up the yazoo. But you know what? I didn't care because he finally got a job. And if he finally got a job, that means he wasn't using my money. Man, was I wrong. Because when we would go out, he'd spend all of his money on himself. And because I was the one with the stable job, he'd go ahead and then go, "Hey, can you buy me this item?" And I'm like, "Don't you mean borrow you the money and you pay me back?" "No, no, no, no. See, you make more money than me, so you should buy me things." And it was just horrible. I was just getting more and more pissed at myself. "You sleeping yet, babe?" She's pretty tired. She's had a rough day. She's been sick all day. But in the end, I've got a good man. Drives me nuts, but I've got a good man. And it took me a long time to see it, but now I'll start getting into how I met Deshaun, who is the love of my life. So after I started laying down these ground rules and I really realized that I wasn't in love with Matt anymore, I started to venture out. I started to have my own independence. And I worked at Arby's and I was working multiple jobs and here's this guy. And I get on the bus and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go home. It's I don't have a car and I'm 19 years old and I have to get on this bus to get home and I get off at 9:30, but I won't be home until 11:30 because that's how the city bus works. And I get on the bus and I sit towards the front of the bus. Well, there's this guy who gets in the back of the bus and he just starts talking and I'm just like, God, this man is so loud. And I was just thinking, That guy, he just loves hearing the sound of his own goddamn voice. God, is he obnoxious. And then I look back and he's wearing his Taco Bell uniform, and this is when Taco Bell was still at Brookfield. And then some other time, me and Matt were in the Taco Bell line going to get food because Taco Bell was the cheapest food at the mall because I worked at the mall. And I saw him. I finally saw the guy because I could hear his voice. And I saw him. And I took one look at him and I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know why, but he's going to be the guy I marry. Not this idiot who's standing next to me, who's spending all my money. But I know this guy with this obnoxious voice. He's going to be the love of my life. How am I going to stop this from happening? And I'm like, I already have one idiot on my hands. I don't need another one. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ah. And and then Deshaun's talking to me one day, and food court stores, we share, we exchange food as currency. And he goes, hey, so you should give me your number. And I kept saying, no, no, no. I have a boyfriend. This isn't going to work. You need to stop talking to me. And he's like, I don't want to be your boyfriend. I just want to be your friend. You can have friends, right? And he got in my head. And I'm like, God damn it. You are right. I'm an independent woman. I have the right to have friends. Absolutely. Here's my number. And that is literally the beginning of the rest of my life. So that's all for tonight. Thanks for listening. As always, comment below and I will answer you. And, if you have anything else that you want me to discuss, please let me know. You can email me at gaomccrary.com. That's GAO.MCCRARY@gmail.com. I'm also a part of this Facebook group called Parents Who Want More, and we are starting a movement of, trying to build a better future for our children. So, again, comment below, ask me anything. I am an open book, quite literally. Thank you guys, and you have a good night, okay? Evelyn, say night-night. Say bye-bye. 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 And there she goes.